Family and friends. Welcome to the inaugural meeting of the 6th Town of Minto Council. It's been 15 years since Clifford, Harrison, and Palmerston and Minto Township amalgamated. And while there has been no shortage of challenges, I believe that this marriage has not only worked but prospered. It's prospered due to the hard work of municipal councils over the years, staff commitment, and community group and ratepayer support. I would like to personally thank outgoing Deputy Mayor Terry Fisk and Councillor Rick Hembley, who is here tonight, for their dedication and hard work on behalf of the town. We recognize their work November 16th with many kind words and reflections on last term. Also, thank you to all candidates who put forward their name in this year's election. That group includes some exceptional people who will be part of future inaugural meetings, I'm sure. Tonight is about inaugurating the 2015 to 2018 Minto Council. Please enjoy the evening and join me in welcoming your new council. Thank you, Tucker Campbell, for piping our council in. Please be seated. For the moment, if Tiffany and Nicole could come forward, please. You may notice we're short one member right now, and that's Councillor Jean Anderson will be joining us very shortly. If you could go up in front of the mayor, if you don't mind. Sure. Two of you. If we could all rise, they'll lead us in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts receive thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you again to our piper, Tucker Campbell, and to our singers, Nicole and Tiffany Lensling. Mayor Bridge, Deputy Mayor Faulkner, Councillors Turton, Dirksen, Caldwell, Elliott, and soon to be Anderson. Staff, Family, friends, and media, thank you for your support of the town of Minto and the new council. It's a pleasure tonight because I have you where I want you right now. You're not sworn in, so I get the liberty of a few minutes right now. So please indulge me if you don't mind.
Just remember, I get the last say, Bill.
Tonight with me is my wife, Terry, who has faithfully supported me and the councils I have worked with over the years. Thank you, Terry, for being here for all of us. Thanks to Annalene McRobb and Peg Scheich for organizing this inaugural and for their hard work and dedication, along with many other staff and community members, to a well-run, transparent, and fair election with the highest return in Wellington County. One of the many things I'm most proud of is the number of local people who committed to train and count votes during the election. We had over 70 people participating as the eyes of the community, and they can vouch for how well run it was and for the preciseness of the results. Remember, it's not the voting that's democracy, it's the counting. Joining us this evening from the senior management team is Belinda, Brian, Chris, Gordon, Matt, and Terry. I also see a few other staff in the audience this evening. Thank you. This is the team that's provided great support to myself and to the past council and many councils before that. Throughout the election, there was well-deserved praise for staff, and it is great so many are here tonight in support of the new council. On behalf of the administration, I congratulate all of you on being elected to the office on Minto Council. Also, congratulations to County Councillor Anderson, who will be inaugurated later on. As I approach 30 years in this business, I'm always amazed at the quality of people who put forward their names to serve the community. Knowing full well their lives will be interrupted by late-night phone calls, grocery store insight, long-winded CAOs, and countless meetings, they continue to dedicate themselves to serve you. It's interesting looking back on many years working with council. In 2010, I had the pleasure of speaking at the inauguration of a councillor whose husband, coincidentally, was the doctor that delivered me way back in 1964. God must have enjoyed engineering that reunion 46 years later. Thank you to friends and family who support our council. They share in the pleasure and the pain associated with the office. Compensation is modest relative to the sacrifice of time. There is never enough appreciation we can offer you. It is, of course, a 4-year commitment of many evenings and meetings and less time together. Tonight it is fantastic that so many family members are here to celebrate. Thank you to Adam and Whitemans for being here to broadcast to those who cannot make it. Candidates who file for often ask what kind of commitment they will face when they get on council. Aside from 2 council meetings a month, 3 or more committee meetings, and countless ratepayer interactions, there will be plenty of rather dry reading material, and if that's not enough, the stress that comes with being personally responsible for water services under the Clean Water Act. Some years ago, that was explained to a candidate, and they commented, "I want to be on council, not do all that." But doing all that is what makes council successful, plus working as a cohesive team, welcoming debate and disagreement, and making decisions with integrity. We accept that as normal here, but it's not always the case, and we don't have to go too far away to see examples of that. So now for your 2015-2018 council. I'll talk about Councillor Anderson even though she's not here.
Oh, that's good.
Lucky her.
It'll be recorded, Bill, so you'll be fine.
She's a dedicated healthcare professional who has lived in Minto with David for over 25 years. They've raised 4 sons here. They have 5 grandchildren, 2 of whom are also living in Minto. Their small hobby farm is just outside Palmerston, and I happen to know that David and Jean are both horse people and travel to Texas. In fact, they're on their way back right now, which is okay in my books. In fact, Jean's experience in healthcare is wide-ranging, so it seems to me she's seen a whole lot of Minto area residents at times of triumph and unfortunately in times of tragedy. This will serve her well as she becomes a councillor and takes on the challenge of this new role. Councillor Elliott is a former mayor who, with his wife Elaine, has lived nearly 45 years in Palmerston. It was a pleasure getting to know Elaine last term, and Ron wasn't too bad either.
Can't do that.
Ron is a governor and active member of the Palmerston Lions, bringing a wealth of experience to the table. Lions Park, the Norgan, and pretty much anything recreation are close to Ron's heart. Including his grandson Blair's hockey career. Ron is known for taking up issues on behalf of ratepayers. My phone rings regularly. But he always is patient and understands there are sometimes three sides to a story. Ron's experience, including his service on Ontario's Small Urban Municipalities Board, will be very beneficial to the new council. Councillor Mary Lou Caldwell returns for a second term and will continue to keep an eagle eye on our finances. Her professional career in accounting includes owning her own bookkeeping business, working for a major accounting firm, and company controller. She brings strong private business experience to the table. Married to Alan and living in Hairston, they made quite a big impression there. So much so it seemed the Chamber of Commerce had made her the lifetime treasurer until finally she was able to shake that role. Mary Lou staunchly supports transparency and communication at budget and our hard-working staff. Mary Lou's contagious chuckle and a strong sense of team are truly an asset to council and staff. Welcome back, Judy Dirksen, to Minto Council. A former deputy mayor and longtime councillor, Judy and her husband Dick have owned a family farm for 35 years. She has been involved in local and provincial farming associations, including serving as president of the Ontario Veal Association since 2006. That's 9 years president. She is also vice chair of the Agricultural Adaptation Council and was the Wellington County dairy educator for 10 years. She has volunteered for local schools, organizations, and her church. I first met Judy when interviewing with the town in September of 2010, and her leadership abilities were clear then. Unfortunately, after 2 interviews, Minto chose not to hire anyone that first time, thanks in part to then candidate Mayor Bridge. Needless to say, I'm looking forward to finally getting to work with Judy this term. Councillor David Turton. He enters his 4th term on council, having led the polls. Living in Minto all his life, he and his wife Pam are proud parents of 3 children. David is a strong leader, has a strong career at Rossay, where he was chief engineer, demonstrating technical qualifications and business management strength. A former coach with wide-ranging service club work, David's experience is very applicable in parks, recreation, and public works, among others. Anyone who has seen Jimmy Keys at the Hairston Legion knows he is Dave's brother-in-law.
Yep.
Sure. Liar.
Drawing on that humor here, there is no better counselor, no better person, and no one more qualified than David.
Liar.
I got a hat that says
Oh,
that.
that
So do I, yeah. That's a good one.
Truthfully, though, David demonstrates a quiet leadership style with a long-term perspective that is very beneficial to council and the residents of Minto he serves. Deputy Mayor Ron Faulkner. He's a retired OPP inspector, where his training included budget management, HR, and strategic planning. He and Anne Marie are approaching 40 years of marriage. Maybe already past that, not long. And they have 2 sons active in Minto and a daughter in Calgary. Most of you know that Ron umpired fastball at a very high level. There's a disagreement on which Ron was the best umpire. A famous American president once said, "I could not see well enough to play when I was a boy, so they gave me a special job. They made me an umpire."
Heard that one before, didn't you?
Ron also brings a strong service club record to his 2nd term, and I think that's a theme for all of you, the work that you do for the community. He was chair of the 2016 IPM and graciously hosts 3 famous residents, Buddy, Charlie, and Hawkeye in the skate barn, allowing Terry and I to relocate here to Harrison with our horses, for which we are ever thankful. Finally, Minto's 5th mayor, George Bridge. He follows his father, Milton, and grandfather, George's many years of service in municipal politics. His mom, Florence, is watching proudly this evening from Royal Terrace. When his 2nd term is finished, George will have presided over 8 of 19 years of Minto's history, nearly half. George and his wife, Sue, moved back to Minto not too long ago. They have 3 children, 2 still in Minto, and 5 grandchildren. A couple of them here tonight. His 30 years of banking and extensive service club experience sharpened his leadership skills. George is a people person. You might say he has the gift of the gab.
Well,
A week ago, he was Santa at Light Up the Town event. And a couple years back, he met with every service club after budget, just to name a few circumstances. Our mayor's been dunked, roasted, punked, and even cannonballed his way into the hearts of our residents. Mayor Bridge, I look forward to working with you and all of council these 4 years. Congratulations to all of you. I will now introduce Jennifer Mountain of Knox United Church in Clifford to provide the invocation. Jennifer also serves the Asphalt United Church congregation in Wellington North. Her churches support various charitable causes, including a food grains project, Clifford Food Bank, Cape Croker Outreach Project, and United Church of Canada's Mission and Service Fund. Reverend Mountain, are you here? There she is.
she is right there.
Thank you, Bill. It's an absolute honor to be here tonight and a privilege and quite a surprise, actually. I had no idea that as a minister serving in this area, I might be invited to do something like this. We tend to think of a separation between politics and the church. And so I wanted to just share a few words about how George and I got to know each other, actually. I came to serve Clifford Pastoral Charge in 2012. And in the United Church of Canada, when you are being invited to perhaps be a minister, you come for an interview. There's a search committee that's formed and they interview various candidates. And I had that interview in May of 2012. And I happened to ask the question while sitting in Greenlee's restaurant as I was having a wonderful meal with the search committee. I said, why do people come to Clifford? And they said, to eat. Which I thought was a great answer, considering we were all sitting in Greenlee's and eating together. And I have definitely found that to be true. I really enjoy serving Clifford, and I was especially called to serve Clifford Pastoral Charge because we do have the food bank in the church. Now I know that that's in transition, and that will evolve, but definitely the people of Clifford, and I would extend that to the whole region of Minto, have a deep call to serve others, both literally in serving food and figuratively in serving others. Because many of my parishioners, and I know some in Palmerston as well, and Harriston now after a few years, many of what you call ratepayers, and I call parishioners, serve the community very deeply, and muchly related to food, i.e. Meals on Wheels. Many of my parishioners drive for Meals on Wheels, and also in areas of healthcare, driving people to hospitals and various places where they need treatment. Yes, I'm sure you know this to be true. And so I have found that whatever we do in this community has to be related to serving others. And I very much believe in the transparency of the church in serving outside of the church. And I know that you, through George's leadership, also believe in a very transparent council. And yes, I have enjoyed meeting you, George, at various events in Clifford, all related to serving our community. Now, we're humbled tonight because we are swearing in a new council in a region of the world that is very safe and has abundant resources on our doorstep. Any of us who've been watching the news that know that that's not true. In many areas of our world, people are not safe, and they do not have an open right to vote or to elect people who would be open and transparent. And so we are humbled by the fact that we live in a community where we are free to share our opinions and to serve so freely. And I also just want to briefly put what we're doing here in the context of a much greater power, obviously, that I believe in, and that we are part of a love of human beings, love of God, and compassion. And that is a part of a broader context that we live in and we're privileged to live in. And so I just want to close by saying in this season, we look forward to welcoming the Prince of Peace, who was foretold in Isaiah 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Peace be with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Mountain. We've come to the point in the program where we have you sworn into your office. So in front of you is an oath that I'd like you to sign, and then if you could come up to the podium here and I'll have you read it, and I'll sign it and witness it, and you can decide if you wish to swear or affirm. So Mayor Bridge, if you could come forward first.
I, George A. Bridge, having been elected to the office of mayor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly and faithfully and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward of a promise thereof of any exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, directed or indirected, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act, and I will faithfully and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being, and make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of some force and in effect as if it made under the oath.
Deputy Mayor Faulkner.
I'm not that big. I might be. Swear. Right hand.
I, Ronald Faulkner, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor in the municipality of the Corporation of the Town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received or will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose my pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. What about the brackets? Just leave that.
Can you read that?
Or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Councillor Turt?
Thank you.
I, David Turton, have been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect if made under oath. Thank you.
Councillor Colwell?
Is it? Cool. Forward to work with you, David.
I, Mary Lou Colwell, having been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Councillor Turton? Sorry, pardon me, Councillor Turton?
Got to swear again.
Yeah, you gotta do it twice, Dave.
I, Judy Dirksen, having been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Councillor Elliott?
Close one, I thought wasn't going to happen. I was going to go back and check the balance, but
Thank you.
I, Ron B. Elliott, have been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II or the reigning sovereign for the time being. I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as it made under oath. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We'll swear in Councillor Anderson when she arrives or at a later date. Ladies and gentlemen, your new Town of Minto Council. Now, Mayor Bridge, it's up to you if you wish to speak here or from your desk, but I'm going to take my seat beside you if you don't mind and turn the meeting over to you.
I'm going to speak right from here. That works out. I'll wait till you get back here, Bill.
More room there.
So it's a good thing I can stretch this out in time for, somebody coming in the door there? Nope. Oh, so you've got Jean. Okay, it's not Jean yet. But anyways, we're hopefully Jean will get here. So I will start into my, I would call it my first speech of a new mayor, I guess, or inaugural speech. So I'd just like to thank Bill for his kind words. And it wasn't as bad as you anticipated it might be, Bill, but some great words. And also to our piper, Tucker Campbell. Tucker, it's great. Round of applause for Tucker. I've watched Tucker a couple times now as he's growing up with his piping ability, and because he's done the Remembrance Day, I think, at least twice in Palmerston, if not more. Yeah. Twice, and you do a great job, and it's great to see young people like yourself taking up something that we don't want to ever lose, and that's a good piper. And listen, we don't sing the national anthem normally at our regular council meetings, but I've never heard it better sung than Nicola and Tiffany Lensing did a great job, and even drowned me out, which is good because I was never allowed to sing much. I was in the choir in the United Church, and they told me just to mouth the words. The junior choir. So I appreciate your talents, and it's great to hear some great singing. And Reverend Jennifer Mountain, appreciate you coming today. I know you were a little shocked because you didn't know what the heck I'm supposed to do. But I just, when I was thinking and Bill asked me, and I said, I wanted to pick somebody that has been fairly new to the community, but has put a lot of effort into the community. And your dedication to food banks and to other things we've talked about. We have some great plans in our minds for Clifford. And with your leadership up there, I'm sure we can get a lot of those done. Thank you very much tonight. And this is rare because you know, in our society this doesn't happen very often, but I think I can speak for the council on this. I would also like to thank the press for their hard work over the last 4 years. Shannon's not here tonight, but Mike's here, and Mike's been here a few times. Mike Wilson from the Minto Express, Pat Rafters from the Wellington Advertiser, and Campbell Court from the Visible and the CKNX Radio one. It's so essential that we get our business out to the public, and it's through your media outlets that we get that there, and really appreciate all the time and effort that you put in and your coverage. And I know that I'm just totally amazed at the high tech we've got here tonight from Whiteman, and Adam's here from Whiteman. Are you in the room in there, Adam? Yeah. Like if you walk in that room, you can't believe it. It looks like we're in a real sound studio. He's got all the different things there. He's got 18 cameras going here, and it's just amazing. Our little Normal council costs us $800 for one camera that everybody, and 2 microphones we have to get people to use. But this is great tonight to have Whiteman's here and doing this in coverage. And it's doubly important because my mom couldn't make it tonight. Sorry about that.
She's here with you, George.
Yeah. But she'll be watching me on television. And she does this. She watches me and she tells me when I need a haircut. And if I do this too much, or if I'm not, attentive, she'll give me a critique of my performances on Whiteman TV every time, every council meeting. So it's great to have her here in the room. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I just wanted a little comment. Dad was here tonight too, because unbeknownst to the councilors, the Bible you swore on, it's pretty beaten up, if you notice it. But that was the Bible that Dad used to be into warden of Wellington County. Okay, that's enough of that. But to my family, my wife Sue's here, and Amy and Grant, and their grandchildren, my grandchildren, not their grandchildren, right, Ella? Ella's here, and I had the great pleasure of walking Ella down as a representative for the Junior Ambassadors Program at the Palmerston Fair as our representative for the town of Minto last year, and we had lots of fun, didn't we, Ella? Yeah, and Quinn's here. It's unusual for Quinn to be anywhere but the hockey rink. He's a great hockey player, and he plays a lot of hockey, and he really enjoys that. And then our littlest one is back in the back corner there, and I'm at Tucker. I think she likes the pipes because she didn't cry. I thought that might get her going, and that's Evie, and she's only 2 weeks old, and we're glad to have her here. And she's wearing her little dress that we bought her for Christmas, and hopefully it fits for Christmas. Anyways, and Aaron is not here tonight. He's working for the town tonight. He's doing the grassroots basketball, so he's got a bunch of kids that are doing basketball, and they're training tonight because they have a big road game. They've never played a game before, and they're playing Listowel next week, I think. Is it, Matt, next week? 7 o'clock next week. So they're all excited because they're going on a road trip. So this is the second year for the grassroots basketball. And Aaron will be back at the house afterwards, but he was doing that tonight. And unfortunately, my other daughter, Carrie, and her husband, Colin, and our 18-month-old twins, they're in California. Not unfortunately, if you like to be in California. They got better weather than we do. Although it was interesting, we Skyped the other day, and it actually had rained in Los Angeles. They're in Los Angeles or Pasadena. Hadn't rained for a long time, and the kids, Carrie put them in a little rain outfit and sent them outside, and they didn't like the rain. They didn't understand what that's all about. So it'll be interesting when they come home for Christmas. They're coming home to the snow for the first time. So it'll be interesting to see how they cope with that. And I just like to thank all my family for their encouragement and all the things they put up with for me. And the next big thanks is to returning members of council, our new deputy mayor, Ron Faulkner, councillors Mary Lou Caldwell, Ron Elliott, and Dave Turton, and our new members, Judy Dirksen and Jean Anderson. Jean will be here. I know she'll be here. And Dave will be here later, but maybe I'll have a chance to talk about them later. And I see one of our older councillors sitting out there, Rick. It's nice to see you out.
Oh, Rick's here.
I think Bill's trying to pick up on your humor thing, eh? Like, so we'll have some humor at the new council, but...
He used to do the nicknames, Hound and...
Yeah, I know, yeah. Bridgie and stuff like that, but we'll work on them. We'll work on them. But I've been humbled to be reelected as the mayor of Minto, and I owe this to the excellent staff, a lot of them here tonight, and council who accomplished a lot in the last 4 years. You don't do this alone, you do it as a team. We've been a team for the last 4 years, and I'm hoping, and I do believe, and some of the talent we brought onto the council will be a team and a good force coming in the next 4 years. We're well positioned to continue our working going forward. I just want to touch on some of the highlights. I know Bill did a whole thing on it, and a really good job last council meeting, but just talk a bit about some of the things we've done the last 4 years. And when I started writing them down, I realized just how many there is, so bear with me on this. The implementation of the cultural mapping plan. We did the master plan for the fire, and we did update our strategic 5-year plan. We did that in-house. And what we mean by that is we didn't use a consultant. And it was amazing just the teamwork we had with the staff and all the people in the community that helped do those, and we saved a lot of money by not having it. I think we got a better product in the long run. In fact, our fire master plan, many other communities are trying to duplicate or look at it, and that's a good thing. We did the Launch It in partnership with the cultural plan, and the Launch It project is going over good. We had a strategic planning session today for 3 hours, and we had some great talent at the table again, and I'm just excited about where that's going in the future. Community gardens, I was excited about that, and we got 20 beds up and running, and we're probably looking at more next year, and maybe moving it into some of the other communities. It's in Harrison, the one we got right now. Concerts in the park. We just finished, and if you get a chance, go on our website, Treasures of Minto, and you can still vote up until Friday, I think, Belinda, Thursday. You can vote on the 8 finalists, or the 8 people that actually wrote a song and sang it at the Norgan, and there's some amazing talent we've got out there, and make sure you vote. The Pitch It competition, we had three businesses that ended up winning the Pitch It competition, but we had, I bet you, 15 businesses that participated, and they've done really well, and some of them have actually just taken off because they got a business plan and do a lot of good things there. Renovations to the Harrison CN station. I was at the horticulture meeting the other night, and other than the drapes and the painting, everything's done. Al and his crew did a great job of getting that organized, and that's a great opportunity now for people to look at. Washrooms in the town hall, theater. I hope to get to the theater on Thursday, and those washrooms are a great asset. We've got a new pavilion and washrooms in the Palmerston Park, thanks to the Lions Club and all their due diligence and getting that done with free labor. The Arts Council and Historical Society in the Harrison Library. I can't tell you enough how people just love that, and we've had people from all over Ontario come and visit that, and it's a cultural hub. It's just a way that we should be looking at building these things together, and that was a great thing that happened. Any support for the Harrison and Clifford and Palmerston downtown revitalization. Oh, I can't say it right.
Revitalization.
Revite committees. I need a bit of water. That's something that started off as a grant process, and when the grants ran out, there was foresight from this council to say, listen, we have a lot of great dedicated people on the ground. Let's keep it going, and you put money into that, and it's just great. The facade and sign program is out of that. The facade and grant program is out of that as well. And the purchase and sale of the Harrison Senior School, that was another thing that this council took on and looked at it and ended up buying it and reselling it, and now we're seeing development. We have 3 houses going up there already. We really need that senior housing, and that's going to hopefully start in the spring, and we keep working on that. So that's a great thing. The Clifford Ball Diamond project, I give CEO Bill White credit for that. We had what happens sometimes, and I was explaining to somebody the other day, when you get problems, sometimes you can turn them into opportunities, and one of the problems with this council had to deal with was a review of the Clifford arena to see how we were going to keep it, do something with it, or whatever. So we went and we had a meeting up there, and 450 people, most of all at Clifford, showed up, and they came up with some great ideas. CEO White led and we had Mike Dunlop down from Hanover, and he led a delegation and facilitated a plan. And out of that plan, we ended up with improving the park, and then we ended up with the opportunity to have that ball diamond turn into housing units, and now we've sold that ball diamond. That money's gone back into recreation, and we're going to have a development that'll turn into about a $3 million development in Clifford, which is just amazing. And we need those senior housing or what we call the one-tier housing without stairs, and that's going to allow a lot of people to have opportunities to stay in Clifford. And the ball diamond is amazing. Again, the ball diamond, we thought we could build it to a certain form, and we didn't think it needed lights. The people in Clifford thought it needed lights, so I love the people of Clifford when they decide they want something, they decided, well, let's go out and we'll just raise the money and do it. And that's what they've done. We've lent them some money, but they've already paid back $10,000 of a $30,000 loan. So that'll be up and running in the spring. Trees for Minto, this is a project that, or I guess it's Trees for Minto, Trees for Farms. We changed the wording. There's a project that I think is going to come a long way to helping our environmental cause. And we've got a lot of farmers involved in that, and that's great. And we're looking forward to doing great things with the Trees for Minto going forward. So just in summing up, it's over $6.5 million in industrial development, is, such as addition to TG Minto and the NR store, to name a few. And $2.4 million in commercial development. Part of that would be Tim Hortons in Palmerston, and a little plug for Grant's Service Centers going in there.
It's looking good.
And one of the other things that we worked on, and we've, thinking outside the box, is we ended up replacing all our street lights with LED lights. We managed to do that in a situation. Hi, Gene, come on in. Yeah. I'm stringing out my speech so you get here.
Okay, I'll make it short.
No, it's not too, we're good. David, just grab a seat there. Yeah, so we managed to do that project, a capital project, without actually having to do any capital money, which we didn't have to borrow. And that's a great project, and that was led by our treasurer and our public works people, and they did a great job in doing that.
My wheels are stuck.
Water meters are installed in all the towns now. We're just going to get back out and I believe have some public meetings to sort of tell you how we're going to roll that out as far as your billings. And that'll be in February and March. We'll probably be able to get out and look at that. But again, it allows us to be conserve energy and with the lights, and also conserve our water, which is I think a lot of people think water is there forever, but it isn't. We have to really watch what we do with it. And we've already seen a big decrease in usage in Palmerston, and we don't even have the meters running yet as far as that goes. But people are taking upon themselves to look at that, so that's good. And our favorite project, I know everybody along this sort of semi-horseshoe here, we can call it, the 16th line bridge is now done. You can drive on it. And I believe, I'm just throwing this out there right now, and it's not confirmed yet, but Drew wants to have a grand opening and be back at the hall and have some treats. And we'll have to pick a real cold day, but we'll get out there and we're going to do that. So that's great, and that's one of the big projects off our things. So going forward for the next 4 years, I'd like this council to engage in our youth more, in both at the council and local committee levels, as well as continuing implementation of our strategic plan for economic growth, including but not limited to launch it, downtown revitalization, cultural roundtable, economic development committees. I want to emphasize on a continual reduction of our infrastructure deficit. Right now it's sitting around $34 million. And by implementing our bridge and road study through an open house style meetings where we'll create a prioritized action plan. We've done a lot of the planning. We know what's underground now. We've done some traffic counts in the country, so we're hopefully bring that back to the public so they can see how we've come up with a point system to where the next roads and infrastructure are going to be going. I think it's part of a process that we want everybody involved in, and because it's a big piece of our budget. Develop a marketing plan for our facilities in order to maximize revenues. I think we underutilize our facilities, and I think a good marketing plan can maybe bring revenues. One of the things we always talk about is cutting costs. Well, there's another thing we can do is raise revenues, not necessarily taxes, but revenues. So if we can do that in our facilities, that'd be a great boon for us. Continue to solicit ideas and feedback from our community as a visible, approachable, and open door mayor and council and staff. And I think we've been doing that. We're going to start our mayor's breakfasts up again, and we're going to get out there and talk it up. Communication, I think after my first year as mayor, Shannon Duff asked me, well, what was your biggest challenge? And it's still my biggest challenge today, is communication, getting the right information out to the people. Having this type of venue, so having it on the internet, having it on Whiteman's, and having it through the press and the papers, we have to make sure that the people know what's going on, and sometimes they don't want to listen, but we got to get it out there, and so we'll continue to do that. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the organizations, community groups, and volunteers who, without your help, the town of Minto would not exist. I mean, without all the volunteers and the groups, and when you look around at what we accomplish, we have a little bit of money, but we stretch it a long way in a small community, and that's because of all our volunteers. And I know everybody on this council totally agrees with me on that, and we've had volunteer dinners. And I remember the last volunteer dinner that we had, I think I asked everybody, put up your hand if you're on more than one committee. And there was 2 committees, and the hands went up, and I said, if you're still on 3 committees, there's still lots of hands up, and I think there were still hands up at the 4th. So we have a lot of volunteers that do a lot in the community, not just one job. So that's it. That's all I have.
Mayor Bridge, it's your meeting now. Councillor Anderson is here.
Yes, we should.
If you wish, I can swear her in, or...
I think we should.
Okay. Excuse me for a moment.
I know what's happening.
Would you like to swear or affirm the Bible if you wish to? Whatever you wish. Just take it in your-
Every time I move forward,
I, Jean Anderson, having been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Minto, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Now definitely your 2015-2018 council.
I'd just like to recognize David Anderson. David is our new county councillor for Minto, and I'm looking forward to working closely with David at the county council upcoming, and I guess you'll be sworn in on the 12th of December. Thanks, David. Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor has some stuff.
Thank you, Mayor Bridge, CO White, members of council. I am indeed proud to sit here as a member of this council and look forward to the upcoming 4 years. First thing I would like to do is thank Anne Marie, my wife Anne Marie of 42 years, and for her support. And I can tell you with the schedule I have, she keeps me reminded of the meetings that I have to attend, and I appreciate that very much. We have lots of things accomplished in the last 4 years. We have lots of things to do in the next 4 years. And I make my commitment to the citizens of Minto, to this council, and to the staff of this office to work together to achieve our financial responsibilities and economic growth. I would like to welcome Jean and Judy to the council and look forward to working with all of you. It is indeed a privilege for me to serve the citizens of this community, and if I might paraphrase the words of my friend, the former councillor Rick Hembley, and that is, it is indeed an honor to serve the citizens of Minto. Thank you.
David, you want to?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Bridge, Bill, council, staff, and guests. I do as well want to thank everybody for coming. It's great to see so many people here, and thank you to all the participating folks that did such a great job here tonight. As I said in my campaign speech, I do consider it an honor and a privilege to be part of the Town of Minto Council. So first, I would also like to thank and congratulate all the folks that put their name forward for a candidate in this public office. Those who took time to vote, it's very important. It's great that Minto was the highest in Wellington. and also to those who supported me. I commit to respecting and upholding the trust that you placed in me. We will not forget our citizens or their concerns. You can rest assured. This is not about council. It is about our community, and together we will be successful. To our wonderful staff, I agree with our mayor. It's been said numerous times about how wonderful it is, and I'll say it again, we appreciate your efforts and thank you for your contributions to the operation of the town of Minto. We, the citizens, are very fortunate. To Terry and Rick, it's been great working with you guys these last 4 years, and I wish you all the luck in the world in your future endeavors, both of you. To my campaign team, I can never thank you enough. To my family, I'm very grateful. To my wife Pam, I love you. And thank you for your endorsement and support over the last number of years and for another term on council. So thanks again and have a great evening.
Mary Lou?
Mayor Bridge, fellow councilors, staff, and guests, once again, I just want to say a quick thank yous, mostly to my husband, who has been 100% supportive of me since I asked to take on this endeavor many years ago. And one thing that I do want to take a minute and thank is my employer, C&M Seeds. Working full-time, I realized this has always been a dream to come on council, but I couldn't do it working full-time. They've allowed me to work part-time and given me the flexibility when needed for council, and I really appreciate that. I also want to thank the staff. Bill, you and your team make us look very good. We have an excellent team here. We are so blessed, and thank you for everything that you do. And the voters, for the trust and support that you've shown me through these past 2 elections. I appreciate it very much. I thoroughly enjoyed my last 4 years on council and the council that we had 4 years ago. We're going to miss Terry Fisk and Rick Embley, but I welcome Judy Dirksen and Jean to the council. I know we'll have a very good time over the next 4 years. We've got a lot of challenges ahead of us, but I thank the voters for electing such a competent council that I know will handle them with professionalism, transparency, and show what Minto is all about. Thank you.
My turn.
Yes, your turn.
I wrote my stuff down the back of my decoration form, which Bill White took on me. That's my fault for preparing as I'm sitting here.
Oh, there it is, there it is.
Well, there it is. But you know what? I probably don't need it anyway.
No.
Elaine says I should write, the reason I wrote it down, because Elaine says I should write things down because I tend to ramble. I don't know where she gets that idea from. I do want to thank everyone that supported me during the campaign, and it's just fabulous to be up here. I've always wanted to serve my community in some way or another. It's always been part of my life. It's something that I want to do, and this is the best place to be to do that. And you people gave me the opportunity to do that. Elaine was right behind me, pushing me all the way to get out and campaign a little more. You want to be there, Ron, and it's important that way. It's important to be able to work with our staff and our council as a team, especially. I welcome the 2. I know both of you girls, and everything will be fine. You guys are a great asset to our group too, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad to be here. And again, I want to thank everyone that got me here, and I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas. Even though you're not supposed to say Merry Christmas, we say Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Judy?
Thank you. I just want to thank all of you for attending this evening. It's great to see so many people out. I want to thank all the candidates who ran and everyone who voted. and everyone who counted accurately too, because it all is what democracy is, and we must never take any of that for granted. We have 2 sons and 2 daughter-in-laws and 7 grandchildren living in Minto, and our daughter Lisa lives in Alberta, and they've always been very supportive in the bid to be on council. My parents are here this evening, Glenn and Betty Arthurs. They live in Harriston, and thank you for your support and your encouragement. And my husband Dick, he's the good-looking tall guy there in the back. Thank you for your love and your support and encouragement as well. It is great to be back. I was very humbled by the results, and I'm looking forward to serving the residents of Minto and working with this council and the town of Minto staff. This is how the 4 years will begin.
There you go. Jean.
Good evening, Mayor Bridge, fellow councillors. I would like to thank everybody who voted during the present election, or the recent election too. That was one of the reasons I ran, was I feel our democratic process, we live in a country where we have the right to vote and there weren't going to be enough people to make it an election. So I thought, well, let's do that with the encouragement of my husband at the back of the room here. So I'll thank him for bringing me here. He sort of encouraged, prodded, cajoled, but he has thoroughly enjoyed his municipal council experience and being the mayor, and is thrilled to be back at county level, but I think was more thrilled about my win. And he was also principal in getting me here tonight, because we were down in Texas visiting our son, and we were sitting in a parking lot by Hamilton on the QEW. So we figured a way to get out of the parking lot and then had to deal with slippery roads. But I look forward to serving the community. I've lived in this community for many years. My father was active in the community. We raised our family in this community. I've given to it in the way of health care for years and years and years, which precluded my being able to do this. So I've now slowed that down a bit, and I'm really looking forward to being involved and learning. I have a big learning curve. I have a bit of a hidden weapon there. He'll fill me in on some of the things that I need to know, but I'm looking forward to it. For years, I've heard about the marvelous staff out here. I'm looking forward to getting to know them better and working together with them, because everybody universally sings the praises of the people that work out here for the town. I think we're a very fortunate community in the people that we have that serve our community, both as people who are paid and volunteers. And I'm really looking forward to being a part of that and learning and growing as I do so. Thank you.
David, did you want to say a few words? You might want to go up, if you want to go up to the mic if you could, because otherwise you won't be on TV. I know I kind of put you on the spot, but...
Thank you, Mayor Bridge. It's good to be here tonight. It's good to see everybody here. My campaign chairman, my wife, sort of gave me my speech for me, so I can make this as short as I want. It's great to be back and elected by the town of Minto to represent you at County Council. I'm really excited about doing that. We, as our mayor has indicated, we don't really get our inauguration until the 12th of December. But you know what, I think what I want to do is, I've enjoyed being your representative on council for so many years here. And as Jean has indicated, we have such a great community, and we just want to continue supporting you and bringing the best what can come to Minto as we can possibly do that. And I think with a good working relationship that I hope to bring forth with the mayor, who is also your county councillor, and also working with council, I'm going to be sitting in the audience with a lot of our council meetings, just to listen to see what's happening here, so I can better educate myself on the real true needs of the town of Minto, and make Minto better and also the county of Wellington better. Thank you, George.
Oh, my glasses on.
What are you doing?
Mayor Bridge will bring a couple resolutions back, just deal with them.
Yep.
Mayor Bridge, we have 3 matters to deal with. They'll be very quick, so not to worry if you're in the audience. And then second, you may want to offer the last bit to the group when we're finished. There's a bylaw to appoint signing officers, and then a bylaw to confirm today's proceedings, and a bylaw to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Bill. Moved by Councillor Anderson, second by Councillor Caldwell, that bylaw number 2014-85 being the bylaw to appoint signing officer for the town of Minto be introduced, read, and first, second, and third time and passed open council and seal of the corporation. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Dirksen and second by Councillor Turton. That's bylaw number 2014-86 being the bylaw to confirm the proceedings of December 2nd, 2014 committee and council meeting be introduced and read in first, second, and third time, passed open council, seal of the corporation. All in favor? There we go. I'm having a hard time. Don't put those two together anymore.
Every time.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Faulkner and Councillor Elliott, the Council of Town of Minto adjourned to meet again at the call of the mayor. All in favor? And just one little comment I'd like to make is that if you want to pop back to the house, my house and my wife's house, Susan. Our house. I caught myself there because she's been working all day over there, and I said I'd be there all day Tuesday to help, and somehow I had 2 meetings and met the whole day I wasn't there.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, I had it mixed up. And that's at 12 James Street, Minnow Pines subdivision for maybe some light refreshments and whatnot. So please feel free to pop back. Everybody's in the chamber, okay? If you need directions, we'll get them to you. And we're adjourned. Thank you very much. Good meeting, everybody.